Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So we're back at it with the DYS X160 micro FPV quadcopter. And this thing might look familiar to you. I did another video on the first generation quad of this sort, and I had a little bit of problems with it. It had some self-leveling issues with the accelerometer. Always wanted to pull to the right, couldn't tune that out, and also had some weird fluttering issues. So this is the version 2 model, which they actually strengthened the arm. They double stacked the arms here for more strength as well, and it seems like they actually also tuned out that issue I was having with the accelerometer always pulling to the right. So it doesn't do that anymore in the version 2, and it also seems like they got the tuning better on the PIDs, on the settings, the flight controller settings. So this one seems really smooth. So what I did with this one is I went ahead and bound it to a D4R, a FrSky D4R2 receiver, and I'm going to be using the same one I used in the last first generation review, which is the Taranis Plus transmitter I have bound to this as well. And then just for mounting the antennas, you can buy these kinds of 3D printed mounts on eBay. I'll have the links down in the description of where you can get this quad, and also the transmitter if you want, and then also these little mounts as well, where to get all this stuff. And the mounts come with these little antenna tubes, and it seems to work really well. But what I'm going to be doing today is just doing kind of a line of sight flight first, just to see how it performs from this view that we're seeing now. Then I'm going to go ahead and do another battery pack through it with these FPV goggles I have here, and I have an output run that I'm going to connect to my cell phone so we can actually record the FPV and you guys can actually see how that performs. And then I just have these little these things are kind of cool. This is like a little battery beeper, so when you do get kind of low on your battery, you will actually be able to hear when you should bring it in. There should be a beep here, and these ones are kind of cool because they're a little lighter for these mini craft. So anyway, let's go ahead and boot this guy up and see how this thing does. I had a little problem with the antenna on the first generation I was using, where I might have had the wrong polarization on antennas, but so far for this one I'm just going to use the same exact antennas. So if it still has problems, that means the antennas are really crappy. But I'm just going to try first off these two identical antennas, one from the last craft and then one from this one, and they should match up pretty well, but we're going to see that in the FPV video as well. So let's go ahead and put this thing to the test and see how it does. Okay, so as far as wind goes, we got maybe about a 5 to 10 mile per hour breeze coming in this direction. So we'll see how that affects the flight. Shouldn't be too bad. So just basically powering up. Let's turn the Taranis on.
Welcome to OpenTX.
All right. So the way I set this thing up is actually I have this switch here to actually arm the motors. It comes with just the ability to arm the motors by pushing the throttle in one direction, but I like to have the ability to actually go ahead and arm it with a switch. So should arm just by pushing this switch. You can see the props are going to start to spin when I click this switch to the middle, and then it disarms it when I push this switch either down or up. So middle is to arm. Then I basically just programmed it in the initial flight control software, where you can hook it up to your PC for these modes to be so this is basically full self-leveling with this switch all the way up. And then I have, this is like horizon mode, where you can still do flips if you want, but it also has self-leveling. And then this mode here,
Flight mode, Acro.
that's completely Acro mode, where it takes the self-leveling off completely. So let's see how it does.
Flight mode, normal.
Okay, so this is full self-leveling mode, and we can see how it's doing pretty good, nice and mellow. It's self-leveling as I let off the right stick with no problem, and it cannot flip, so I'll push the right stick in one direction and it just will not flip. So if you're starting out and you don't know how to use Acro mode or don't want to do flips, I'd definitely go in this mode here. So I'm going to switch into horizon mode. And so I have the horizon and the acro mode set to a different rates, so it's a little faster and more responsive when you get into vario mode. So you can see how it's a little quicker, and that's just done by upping the pitch and roll and yaw rates in the Open Pilot when you connect the Open Pilot to your computer. Let me go back to normal mode. You can see that difference, how it's just way more mellow. And I may want to make that a little higher in normal mode. But so there's the yaw in self-leveling. So real mellow. And I'm going to show you the yaw in horizon mode. A little bit faster, and that's just according to what I set it at. Let's try a flip in this mode. Now I don't know how quick it's going to flip, but let's just try it. Get a little height. Okay, cool. So it flips pretty good. That was a roll. Let's try a front flip. Good. So I'm gonna try to get the controller in view on the way I'm flipping here. I'm not sure if I'll be able to do that, but basically you're punching it and then you're letting off the throttle and spinning one of these directions. You're holding it until it does a complete flip revolution. So let's try a left roll. Probably couldn't see the controller there because I was looking at the craft. Let me try to keep it down on the controller a little more, or raise the controller up. Okay, so kind of get the idea of what you got to do. You just got to time it with your flipping. Cool, so it looks like it's flipping good. It's not a super fast flipper with these settings I have it programmed with, but it does the job. Let's go into full acro mode. And this should be about the same pitch and roll and yaw settings as I have set for the horizon mode, but this has no self-leveling, so you can see when I do put it in one direction, it'll just keep going that way and doesn't self-level. Definitely harder to fly in line of sight, but this is what you really want to, when you get good, you want to have it in this mode to be doing your racing and stuff. So anyway, let's try a flip in acro mode. Whoa. Oh, okay. So there's a little crash test, and you can see how it's really tough to do line of sight stuff in acro mode. I've been flying for a while, and even for me, it's kind of hard in line of sight. Much easier in the when you have the FPV on. So a little crash there. All that really happened was we kind of dug into the corner here, a little bit of mud underneath the motor from hitting the grass so hard, and actually we broke a propeller, and bent this propeller and bent that propeller. So it looks like only one propeller survived that, and the battery just got a little bit skewed. So let's go ahead and put some new propellers on this and get it back up in the air. Alright, so here we are with the FPV on, got new props back on, and going to get some FPV video with some commentary while we're flying here. So let's go. Let's start off in normal mode. So this is just fully normal mode. Getting some flickering in the screen. So pretty much any channel I am with the stock antennas, I'm getting this really bad flickering. So I'm gonna just kind of come in and change to some better antennas and see if maybe that will fix our problem. You can see how when I get really close, it's fine, but anything else is just like super bad. So let's change the antennas. Alright, so got the antennas switched out really quickly, and just gonna see if maybe we got any better performance with these other antennas. These aren't the greatest antennas, but it's kind of all I have to work with right now. These are both left-hand polarized, and apparently the stock antennas weren't doing it. So let's see what this one does. Alright, well that's better already. So stock antennas are rubbish, so the first thing I would do is switch out of the stock antennas. So anyway, it's working good now. We are in self-leveling mode.
Stereo on.
Switching into horizon mode with flipping. So let's see. So let's try to get up and do some flips. Whoa. Alright. Crash land. Okay, let's try some full throttle shots. Okay, great. So it looks like they fixed that flutter problem, and that could have been due to the stock PID settings. So their claim to have it better tuned this time around is good. Going directly into Acro, and let's see what this thing can do. All right, it's definitely much better with the better antennas. That's going to be a must. These antennas basically are just throwaways, so don't even attempt to use the antennas that they give you in the box, because they're totally garbage. These other antennas I have on right now are completely cheap crap antennas, which are working very well. You can see how with the tuning I've done here, it's great. It's working super killer. And I will have these settings down in the description of the video, so you guys can check those out. Whoa. Getting some strange stutter there, not sure what that's from. Not sure why. You can see that little stutter I was getting. Maybe a motor issue, I have no idea. But as far as the last version, this one seems pretty good. Definitely 100% better than the other one. Let's try some low fast flying here. Whoa, you see that stuttering there? Not sure what that is. Maybe an ESC having a little bit of trouble. I'm not hearing any battery beeping, so it should be good still. But you can see that little glitching there. That's not good. I don't think it's my controller. I've got fully charged batteries in the controller, so this may be ESC issue. I don't know, motor issue. You see that stuttering there, and you can probably hear it too in my mic. So not sure what that is. Feels like some kind of power issue, because when I give it more power, I'm going to give it full throttle. Maybe not. I don't know what that is. So version 2 better, but maybe not the best. Maybe not fixed. Definitely much better though. Let's try a roll. Alright, so there's our battery. You can hear the beeping there. I'm going to go ahead and bring it in. before we damage the battery. Cool. Alright, so basically there is our flight test 2 of version 2. A lot better, but don't know what that little fluttering was at the end there. Maybe it's a low power issue with the ESCs, I'm not sure. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the flight. Go ahead and check the description down below on where you can get this guy, and I'll have some of the settings down there on this guy. But anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.